So maybe you're writing an essay. It doesn't have to be an essay, any sort of formal piece of writing that you want to submit at university, at school, wherever. It doesn't matter. It's very likely that you're expected to write in the third person, in the objective voice. And you should assume that unless you've been asked to write in a different voice. So in other words, don't use first person, I, and don't use second person, you, unless you're specifically asked to use those voices. The third person is he, she, they, it, but also words we use instead of saying they or them. Words like students. Students need to learn da 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 da. Teachers. Teachers need to be da da da. So you're speaking in the objective voice. You're referring to teachers. You're not trying to eyeball someone and say you, and you're not reflecting. You're not giving a personal reflection and saying I. So avoid the first person. The first person includes I, but also all of the other singular pronouns like me, my, mine, myself. And don't forget the plural. If you can't use I, you also can't use we, us, our, ours. So all of these, singular or plural, first person, don't use them in your essay or piece of writing unless you have been asked specifically to give a personal reflection. Also don't use you, and that should be easy, yeah? You, your, yours, yourself. Don't use them. This is when you're directly speaking to someone, you use you. I'm using it now. I'm saying, hey you, don't use you. But in an essay, which is meant to be an objective piece of writing, you never address your reader or your marker directly. You never say you to them, you don't say your, and you never command them, you never direct them, you never give them an order. You never tell them what to do, because that's the same as saying you. The other thing it's good to avoid is the use of the word one. So often what people do is they realize they can't use you, and they start using one, as if that's less direct, which it is slightly, but it's still just a substitute in that circumstance for using you. So don't use one or ones, which has an apostrophe by the way, and don't use oneself. And if you do use one a lot in your piece of writing, it ends up sounding like a Jane Austen novel, and you don't want that. So don't use I, don't use you, and don't use one either.